Hi guys, Dr. Pete here. Today we're talking about high performance teams, which are the key to flourishing staff and in turn a flourishing school. If we think about where high performance teams sits, it's the last whistle stop on our Big Four tour. So let's get into it now. We want to start by thinking about teams in schools and why they matter. And we want to begin by referencing the work of Professor John Hattie, who said accomplishing the maximum impact on student learning depends on teams of teachers working together. And so teams sit at the heart of collective teacher efficacy. Now, if we think about teams, of course, in schools, we hear those terms a lot. And the question is it merely a buzzword or is it a powerful strategy? If we think about team culture, we have like a situation where we have no real teams or fake teams. We just say teams all the time. Dysfunctional teams, or they become a powerful strategy when we have functional teams or indeed high performance teams. And so what exactly is a team? Well, we take the view from anthropology about family, village, tribe. And a team, of course, is that family unit, that smaller group of people with intra-dependent KPIs. Contrast that with the department or village, and you're made up of multiple teams working together for a bigger outcome, all the way through to our organization or tribe made up of multiple departments. Now, when we think about teams in schools, there's so many different labels, from cohorts to faculties to PLTs, PLCs, BSTs, SWIGs, SLTs, MLTs, ELTs, the list goes on. But underneath all of that, there are only really three types of teams. There's your teaching teams, your non-teaching teams, and your leadership teams. So we know teams are important. We know what they are now. What is a high performance team? And if we look on the screen now, you can see a triangular model that's called the HPT Framework. And the first thing we want to recognize there is there are two distinct factors, achievement and engagement. And a high performance team does both those things well. Jumping down into achievement, we can see that they achieve so much because they're clear about vision and action, and they also have a strong performance reporting culture. Over the other side there, we can see why they have a high engagement, because they leverage diversity. They make the most of differences in their team, and they understand people's work-life context, so they have each other's backs during the hard times of life. Another lens you can put onto high-performance teams is the notion that they have very strong team systems. And so we take that framework and then they have a very clear, visible way to deal with how they operate as a team. You can see here the team systems. This is what we call a team data wall. You can see the foundational clarity. You can see the clarity over what they're trying to achieve, how they engage, and of course business as usual. They have very strong team systems. Two quick things you might want to do about this. Number one, you might want to do a quick team systems diagnostic. The details are on the website now to start to understand how strong your team systems are. And secondly, you might want to have a quick look at the exemplar team systems, teaching team, non-teaching team, leadership team, and compare and contrast how your team's going from a systems perspective. Look, that brings us to the last bit here, the most important bit, which is if I build high performance teams, what's the impact? And you can see a couple of bits of outcome data on the screen. The first is about the impact on staff, and high performance teams improve efficacy, collective teacher efficacy, so much. If you look at the next one about students flourishing, high performance teams impact positively on attendance and behavior. And then finally, of course, academic achievement, math and English data, you can see some significant gains for students by focusing on high performance teams in staff. So that brings us through to the end now. We can see that high performance teams are critical for both staff and students to flourish. The Big Four high performance teams brings it all home. So until next time, bye for now.